in all this. I want to have your opinion about Ricardo because a City fan said he doesn't rate him and even Merino. Although I laughed at it because he seemed to forgot Rodri wasn't even rated when he signed him. It took him years for him to be at his best. Thank you. Shout out to you for you being sensible. See, a lot of football fans are they have an elephant brain. They are short, they forget so quickly. Let's not forget Rodri when he was bought was being benched by the old Fernandinho. For 2 years, Rodri was trying to acclimatize to the Premier League. City fans are not acting as if they bought Rodri and he turned to the Rodri we see today. Welcome to the present. Some of you Arsenal fans like it should be that should be a new thing. You be on your BS all the time. So suddenly Calafiori and Merino are not good enough signing. Yeah, they are not a signing that takes you to the next level. I remember how excited a lot of you were when we pulled off the Calafiori deal, especially when Real Madrid tried to hijack it in the last few days or few hours. Merino, we know how protracted that deal was, and some of you couldn't wait for the signing to be done. But suddenly, it's too slow. Really, both players have suffered different degrees of injuries. They are playing in England. They are trying to adapt to the ferociousness, the culture, the football in England. Give them some time. Give them some time. What is wrong with a lot of you Arsenal fans? You are so triggered. See, it's like there's an excitement to find something wrong with Arsenal all the time. I know why, because financially it pays. I'm not going to be a hypocrite, but most content creators, whether you're Man U or Arsenal or Chelsea these days, it's not about the love for the club. It's about how much can I make? How do we get to that level? Because we've seen it. See, it's a fact that when your teams are winning, you don't make as much money when your teams are hitting a rocky patch or they are struggling or they are losing. That's it. That's the pure fact. I'm not saying there are no videos on when Arsenal win or Chelsea win, Manchester win, that you don't have a bump in views. But guess what? The most views is when they lose. And guess what? It's humane to look at the fact that, oh, I make more money when they lose. You might not openly admit it, but we all know. Because the way you guys exaggerate the loss, exaggerate the bump in the road, just prove that you actually prefer your teams, including Arsenal fans, to be hitting the bump on the road because it makes more money, which is crazy. I love my team. I would love to make as much money, but guess what? No. I want Arsenal to win. I want to have the most views when Arsenal win. If Arsenal losing or hitting the bump, I don't like it organically. Generally, I don't enjoy it. Back to Merino and Calafiori. Now, I saw this comment. Shout out to you, Bossa Hindu. Well, for me, I understand your point in all this. I want to have your opinion about Ricardo because a City fan said he doesn't rate him and even Merino. Although I laughed at it because he seemed to forgot Rodri wasn't even rated when he signed him. It took him years for him to be at his best. Thank you. Shout out to you for you being sensible. See, a lot of football fans are they have an elephant brain. They are short, they forget so quickly. Let's not forget Rodri, when he was bought, was being benched by the old Fernandinho. For 2 years, Rodri was trying to acclimatize to the Premier League. City fans are not acting as if they bought Rodri and he turned to the Rodri we see today. This is crazy. Ricardo Calafiori is not a fullback. Can he do a job as a fullback better than most fullback? Yes, but he's a centre half by trade. Merino is a Spanish midfielder that just came from Spain. We know the Spanish La Liga and the Premiership, they operate in terms of pace are too different. These players are trying to adapt to the ferociousness, the speed of the Premier League. It will take them some time, just like it took some time for Rodri to acclimatize to the pace of the Premier League. Just like it took Partey himself that we rate some time to acclimatize to the pace of the Premier League. This should not be rocket science, but guess what? A lot of you want to analyze in bad faith because it brings more impression, brings more view. You want to be deeply controversial. How can you have a full appraisal of Ricardo Calafiori and Merino when they've not even played a full season? I remember the last game against Chelsea, you see a lot of Arsenal fans change their mind on Merino. Because that last 20-25 minutes he gave us, the control, the chances we're creating, they couldn't believe their eyes. This is the same Merino that we saw him coming unfortunately got injured. He was out of the team for a while. Is getting back to acclimatize with his teammates, with the culture, with the football, with the pace of the Premier League, and suddenly Arsenal fans are in a haste to judge him. Calafiori has had a few injuries in a short time at Arsenal. This is Calafiori's first season at Arsenal. He had that injury playing for Italy. He has suffered another injury. He's a stop-start. But we saw that quality goal he scored against Manchester City. We've seen the quality defending. Now, he might be a little bit rash. He might be overly aggressive sometimes. He has taken a few beating by some tricky wingers. What defender doesn't get beaten by a winger or by other people? It's a frequency that makes you a great defender. You don't get beaten all the time. So we act as if even Saliba hasn't been beaten. Even Gabriel Magalhaes hasn't been beaten. This is sick. This is very, very sick. So if you are rating Calafiori and Merino poorly because he generates content, is a content strategy, he gives you views, shame on you as an Arsenal fan. Shame on you. Shame on you, because they have not even played half of the season. Like, I don't blame some of these content creators. It is the audience that allow themselves to be this silly. How do you run an appraisal on a player that has not even played 10 games? Both players have not played 10 games for Arsenal, but they are poor signings. Because that is a mainstream way to sell, to get those clicks and viewership. They've not played 10 games. Whether you like them or not, why don't you wait to run an objective appraisal on them? What's the end of the season? Why are you in a hurry to judge Calafiori and Merino right now? One more time, I'll tell you why. Because of the money, the financial benefit of being silly on YouTube, pushing this agenda on YouTube. Wait for them to play. Even though when I don't like a player, I will still give them at least, I'm not saying just a season is good enough, at least a season to make sure I know what I'm talking about. Most of you don't know what you're talking about, but it's easy to run with that. So, guy, shout out to this fantastic question. Very sensible. Thank God you could actually you actually answered it yourself. I didn't have to do much. I love my subscribers because most of you are intelligent. Because it took Rodri at least 2 years to acclimatize to Man City way and English Premiership. But yet, Arsenal fans will not give Merino and Ricardo Calafiori any time. They want to rate them real quickly so they can push the views. It's about the market. It's about marketing. See, content creating, unfortunately, that started with the love of the club has turned to a business, a full-time job. And when it turns to a full-time job, it's not about quality, or sometimes it's not about objectivity and truth. It's about how we can rack in the views and turn to money, unfortunately. So, guys, do me that kind of favor. Like the video on your way out. Very important video. Very, very important. Subscribe if you're new here. And make sure you turn on your notification bell. One more time, like the video, subscribe if you're new here. And make sure you turn on your notification bell. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.